Welcome back to Mr. Sleep Crime, the place where chilling stories are told and where the unknown becomes terrifyingly real. Tonight, we're diving deep into the darkest, most chilling true crime stories that have been discussed on Joe Rogan's podcast, cases that continue to haunt those who hear about them. Before we dive into these blood-curdling mysteries, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss another terrifying tale. Trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. So get ready for the ride of your life as we uncover 5 of the most terrifying true crime stories Joe Rogan has ever discussed. It's time to step into the unknown. Story 1. The Villisca Axe Murders. On June 9, 1912, in the quiet town of Villisca, Iowa, a crime so horrific occurred that its details still haunt the town to this very day. The Moore family, parents Joe and Sarah, their 4 children, and 2 house guests were murdered while they slept. The weapon, an axe, the victims, every single person in the house, slaughtered while they slept, struck multiple times with the axe, and yet the killer was never caught. At first, investigators thought it was the work of an intruder, but as the case progressed, the questions became even more chilling. The killer had taken the time to cover the mirrors and windows of the house before striking. Some even believed the killer was already familiar with the family, watching their routines before committing the horrific crime. Joe Rogan has often discussed the theories surrounding this case as it continues to captivate the imaginations of those who hear it. Some believe that the killer may have stayed in the house after the murders, hiding in the attic or the barn for days before finally escaping. Others suggest that the killer might have been someone who knew the Moore family personally. A local, perhaps, who knew exactly when the family would be most vulnerable. What makes this case even more disturbing is the strange occurrences reported after the murders. Locals claimed to hear strange noises coming from the house in the days following the killings. Noises like the sound of children crying and footsteps moving inside the house, despite no one living there. Some even say that the spirit of the killer still roams the town of Villisca, seeking to remain hidden forever. And the axe used in the crime, no fingerprints were ever found on it, suggesting that the killer may have worn gloves. Was it a local, a stranger, or something more chilling altogether? No one knows. But as Joe Rogan points out, the fact that no one was ever caught and the bizarre details surrounding the crime make this a classic unsolved mystery that continues to haunt those who hear it. Could it be that the killer is still out there, walking among us? Story 2, the Black Dahlia Murder. The story of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia, is one of Hollywood's darkest legends. In 1947, her body was found in a Los Angeles lot, gruesomely severed in 2 at the waist. But what makes this crime even more disturbing isn't just the brutality of the murder, it's the fact that her killer was never caught. Joe Rogan discussed this case at length in one of his episodes, diving deep into the theories that have surfaced over the years. Elizabeth Short was an aspiring actress, but her murder had nothing to do with fame. Or did it? Some believe that her murder was tied to the dark side of Hollywood, a place full of scandal and violence that no one dares to speak of. The brutal nature of the crime, her body found with a smile carved into her face, her body drained of blood, was a message to someone, though no one can say for sure who. Investigators have never been able to connect the dots. Some have speculated that the killer could have been someone working in Hollywood, someone obsessed with her beauty. Others think it was a serial killer, perhaps one who wanted to gain notoriety. In addition to the gruesome details, some believe the ghost of Elizabeth Short still haunts Los Angeles. Sightings of a woman in white walking the streets, her face distorted and hollow, have been reported for years. Is her spirit still searching for justice? Or is her ghost a warning, a reminder of the dark secrets buried in Hollywood? Joe Rogan himself has questioned whether the mystery surrounding the Black Dahlia murder goes deeper than just a horrific crime. Could there have been a conspiracy at play, something involving the elite? And if so, why has no one come forward? The case remains unsolved, and the chilling, eerie aura surrounding it still lingers in the streets of Los Angeles today. Story 3. The Amityville Horror. The true crime behind the haunting. On the night of November 13th, 1974, in Amityville, New York, Ronald DeFeo Jr. committed one of the most horrific family massacres in modern history, shooting and killing his entire family. But what followed the murders was even more terrifying. A year after the murders, the Lutz family moved into the house. The home, once filled with horror, became the site of what would become one of the most famous haunted house stories in the world. But was it truly a haunting, or was it the product of something even more sinister? In his podcast, Joe Rogan explored the paranormal occurrences that were reported in the house. The Lutz family experienced extreme emotional turmoil, vivid nightmares, and inexplicable physical attacks. The home seemed to have a life of its own, strange sounds, odors, and cold spots that seemed to appear without cause. At one point, George Lutz claimed to have woken up to see a demonic figure watching him while he slept. The real question many still ask is, was the house really haunted, or did the trauma from the murder of the DeFeo family leave a dark mark on the property? Some suggest that the Lutz family might have exaggerated the events for publicity, but others point to the highly disturbing nature of the paranormal phenomena and the odd coincidences that followed the family after they left the house. Joe Rogan discusses these theories in depth. Was it a case of haunting, or was something more terrifying at work in Amityville? Could the Lutz family have been possessed by something that lived in the house, something that wanted to be seen? To this day, the case remains one of the most contested and haunting stories in true crime and paranormal history. Story 4. The mysterious disappearance of the Sodder children. On Christmas Eve, 1945, in the town of Fayetteville, West Virginia, a house fire claimed the lives of 5 children of the Sodder family. Or at least, that's what the authorities believed. 5 children managed to escape the blaze, but the other 4 were never found. What makes this case even more bizarre is that no remains were ever found in the wreckage of the house. The Sodder family believed their children had been kidnapped, not killed, in the fire. Joe Rogan has discussed this case in one of his episodes, delving into the mysterious circumstances surrounding the fire. The family received cryptic phone calls and photos that seemed to suggest their children were still alive. Some believe that the fire was intentionally set to cover up a kidnapping, but who could have wanted the children? The theories surrounding the disappearance are endless. Did the family have enemies? Was there something the Sodders knew that led to the fire? What was the real story behind the mysterious fire? This case remains unsolved, and the Sodder family's quest to find their children continues to this day. The mystery and the unanswered questions leave us wondering. Was it a tragic accident, or was something far darker at play? Story 5. The Hinterkaifeck Murders. In 1922, in a secluded farm in Germany, the Gruber family was slaughtered in a brutal and chilling crime that still remains unsolved. The family, 6 members, were murdered with an axe, and what happened afterward is even more disturbing. The killers seem to have stayed on the farm for days, eating the family's food and even taking care of the animals. No one heard a thing. No one saw anything. How could this happen in such an isolated area? Was it the work of someone familiar with the family, or something even more sinister? Joe Rogan discussed this disturbing case on his podcast, pondering the possibility of a family member being involved. Some believe that the killer may have been hiding in the barn or attic. but no trace of the murderer was ever found. In the years that followed, strange reports came in from people claiming to have seen shadows around the farm, as if the killer's ghost still lingered. Could this have been a serial killer hiding in plain sight? Or was the killer someone closer to the family than anyone could have imagined? The Hinterkaifeck Murders are one of the most chilling unsolved crimes in history, and the eerie mysteries surrounding it remain as haunting as ever. Conclusion. These 5 stories are just a glimpse into the unsolved, unexplained, and terrifying. Whether it's the haunting whispers in Villisca, the mystery behind the Black Dahlia murder, or the dark secrets of Amityville, these cases refuse to die. They remain as chilling reminders that some truths are meant to stay buried. But the question remains, are these cases truly solved, or are we simply too afraid to uncover what's hiding beneath the surface? If you've enjoyed this eerie journey into the unknown, like this video, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments below. Which case still haunts you? And do you believe there's more to these stories than we'll ever know? Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, the night has its secrets.